Tonight at Laker Turf, we have an exciting matchup. We have the Oswego Lakers versus SUNY New Paltz. This field hockey match is out on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Lakers here trying to make gain some momentum back into their season. They're currently sitting at 2-6, and New Paltz is currently sitting at 4-4. Game started, and New Paltz was an early interception. Some key players for this game on the Oswego end include Ellie Kazel, who was the goal scorer for the Lakers, Julia Alvey, second in minutes played on the team, one of the most important pieces of the offense, and their goalkeeper will be sure to face plenty of shots. This match, it's Sam Krotheim. She already has 100 saves on the year, so she's one of the best goalkeepers in the SUNYAC. And on the Oneonta side, key players include Ashley McGough, who is currently tied for most goals in the SUNYAC with 6 goals on the year, and Miranda Britton and Rachel Tama, also people to look out for in the attack.
Yeah, Cameron, thanks. I'm Logan on the call, too. And so far, it's New Paltz that has controlled a lot of the tempo. Those New Paltz Hawks. Now the Lakers get it back, though, after a stoppage in play, Cameron. So now it's New Paltz again, though. They're pushing up here with it. The Lakers' pesky defense, but they get it through, and that is no good. It'll go to the side of the net, and then now we get a stoppage in play.
Yeah, an early opportunity for New Paltz there. The team, the Lakers look to be playing for some sort of a 3-4-3 here. New Paltz on the attack. Going to have to try to find some room to get through this formation.
Yeah, that wide shot was from Megan Gunning. Also one of the premier offensive pieces for the Hawks, but she was not able to get it through as the Lakers stayed with her and contained her really that whole possession. So now as you approach 12 minutes left in the game, so the Lakers are pushing up. It's number 3, Sophia Prianti. Prianti loses possession though, but the Lakers will quickly retain the ball after a stoppage in play.
Will be interesting to see where this game is primarily controlled from. Will it be on the Oswego half of the side of the field most? Will it be in the middle third, or will it be on the New Paltz side? In a game like field hockey with all of these stoppages in play and sometimes quick possession changes due to fouls, the most frequent location of the ball could be one of the most important things in determining who takes this one.
Yeah, Cam, and it's really New Paltz who I would say is more premier offense with 16 shots per game and 2 goals per game they're putting on. So real good offensive showing for them. But for the Lakers, it's that they want to clean up their turnovers, because we've seen several instances of them getting 2 killers with the ball on their end. However, that is definitely something that can be worked on, and they have a lot of room to do that in this game against a good opponent. No better time than now.
Positional integrity will also be pretty important here. Will the teams follow the ball? You know, field hockey, a sport that tends to see a lot more packed action on one side than something like soccer, as you can see now with the ball was previously on the left, but now
that's New Paltz with a shot. Krautheim able to come out and quickly stop it. They try to get another chance on net, no good. You'll see a stoppage in play there.
Yeah, another thing with the field hockey, the ball on the left side, you saw most of the Oswego midfield on that right left-hand side. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams balance the need to have a bunch of people near the ball versus keeping up their positional integrity and keeping their players in open areas.
Yeah, Cam, and that shot was by New Paltz, number 1, Maddie Betts. We saw her get an open space rounding that corner, but Grauheim able to perfectly read that ball and make a calculated stop, showing why she was named SUNY Rookie of the Year in 2024 campaign.
But here comes the most important part of a field hockey game, the penalty corner, the first one of the game. Here by New Paltz, Oswego, how they defend this may well determine the outcome of this one.
Yeah, certainly it will. We'll see a sea of jerseys here. And now it's the Lakers who are going to try to push it up now after a good stoppage on defense from them. Now we see another stoppage in play, however, and the Lakers will seemingly get the ball back.
Yeah, it was well defended there on the penalty corner. The frequency of the corners and the defensive strategy for the corners are both important, because penalty corners are the most likely time to score a goal in field of hockey. So yes, defensive strategy is important, but also just preventing a high volume of shots statistically is something of value. So that'll be something both teams will have to balance throughout this one.
Yeah, Cam, and we've already seen shots from Ashley Mago, that primary offensive weapon, as well as Rachel Talma and Maddie Betts, those trio of beneficiaries for the Hawks. They've not been able to put it through, though, because Krautheim and the improved Lakers back end have been able to stop her and curb those chances. So we should see much of that this game from the Lakers.
The good forward pass and press there. Unfortunately for Lakers, the stoppage in favor of New Paltz. But now the fast counterattack, hard pass, and then a press up to see if Oswego continues that distinct type of attacking style.
And now it's Rachel Tama who's going to try to impose her will and get the ball back on defense. And she will. She'll help in that attack. And it'll be pushed right back up to the Hawks.
Yeah, it was a nice little move. Now New Paltz on the counter.
It'll go to Maddie Betts here, and we'll see what she can do with it. Can she knife through that Laker defense? She cannot, as the Lakers are able to strip it away from her stick. And we'll see another stoppage in play. Very good defensive stand.
Just outside of the D, so no penalty corner, fortunately for Oswego, but it was a close one. New Paltz applying some early attacking pressure.
They definitely are, and it's Julia Unger who's going to lead this attack. And now she's going to dump it off, but the New Paltz Hawks quickly get it back. Let's see what New Paltz can do with the ball. If the Lakers can stop it, back in open space they are. It's really a one-on-one now with Elvie as the defender. Julia Elvie, that is. She's able to kick the ball away. Then it's the Hawks who get it back, and now it's the Lakers control the tempo. That's Rachel Tama with it. Rachel Tama takes a shot, goes for a pass. No good, though.
It was a good press up by the Lakers keeper, although it is going to lead to another penalty corner.
Yeah, taking the shot there, got the ball passed through. It was senior Miranda Britton, number 2, but before she could look up, she was surrounded by green jerseys, and that speaks to the volumes, the level of defense that the Lakers have played this season.
It'll be interesting to see on these penalty corners how New Paltz varies who's trapping and striking this ball as it comes in. Will it be the same player every time or different?
Now it's Tama with it. Tama, very conflated space in there. No good, though. Lakers able to stand tall on defense.
Just about halfway done with this first period. Score is still 0-0. A couple early chances for New Paltz, but yes, the Lakers showing some of that defensive power they have with those early 2 penalty corners. The question is, will they be able to get anything going forward? We saw one attack that developed and ended pretty quickly. See if they continue to attack with a fast pace or try to get some more built-up ones.
Yes, Sam, without a doubt. Now it's Gabby Curtis who will turn it over, go right back to the Hawks. Now the Hawks try to push it up with number 24.
some good coordinated movement there by the Lakers attacking and defensive line. Get stopped, but you like to see all the players moving together. You know, it's always important to press as a unit. With individuals pressing, it's much easier to get broken down. But we're seeing early that Oswego's pressing in their own half of the field has been pretty strong.
Yeah, and the New Paltz Hawks are trying to get any opportunities on goal, but the Lakers standing tall. New Paltz, I will say, though, they're running a very coordinated offense, and if that's any indication of what we should expect later in the game, then the Lakers will have to walk around in eggshells and keep on 10 toes when they try to defend the Hawks with that attack of Maddie Betts, Rachel Tama, and Ashley McGo. As that is Betts taking the shot. No good so far. She gets it back, though. And that's Tama with it. Tama able to get it through. Past Krautheim. Krautheim was laid out, and the ball goes over her, Cam, and it's 1-0 Hawks.
Wow, very good piece of attacking there by New Paltz. You saw the initial attack get stopped, but the persistence and very, very smart strategic positioning by New Paltz allowed them to play off those deflections, and at the end, it just ended up being a little too shot being too close and too strong for Oswego. So New Paltz, very good piece of attacking there. Although it looked a little chaotic, but there is skill in organizing chaos, especially in field hockey. The little ball taking all of these unpredictable bounces. We saw some good attacking composure to get the New Paltz on the board. Yeah,
Cam, chaos in that space, but Miranda Britton able to get the pass back out. It's Rachel Tama after deflection, and Tama able to evade the usually elite goalkeeping of Sam Krautheim. Always been elite as a goalkeeper. She will continue to be as the Hawks get it back, but we see a stoppage in play yet again. This game headlined by stoppages in play so far.
Yeah, it looked like a stick violation there. The name was the wrong side.
Indeed. Tama will get it back, though. That goal scorer already. Go back to Britain. Maybe one-on-one battle now. And the Lakers will come away as winners of that battle. That was number 19, Carly King, who has already tacked on a goal for the Lakers this season.
New Paltz goal scored by...
Sorry, there's not Carly King. That was Karina Tompkins on that defensive stop. She's one of the Lakers who have assisted so far in the very improved defense they have shown so far as we approach 4 minutes left in this first quarter.
Ball's just... The Lakers, they're trying to build the attack up the wings, and of course there's pros and cons to building your attack up the wings versus down the middle. Like in any sport, there's always a little more space down the wings, but taking a tougher angle on goal. So how the Lakers decide to attack where they decide to primarily get the ball in through could be one of the key factors, especially against a New Paltz defense that seems to be of some serious quality.
Yeah, without a doubt, Cameron. They don't let many goals through, and if the Lakers are able to come out with a win today, it will be a very good statement win for them, statement and victory on the season. So now it's New Paltz still pushing up. Very fluid passes so far from the Hawks, but upended, however, by the Lakers to stop that fluidity or at least try to curb it, which they have done so far. Now it's Tama with the shot. Tama blocked by Krautheim.
Yeah, good save there. You see Miranda Britton there just sitting by the net, right by the goalkeeper's crease, hoping to get some sort of deflection in. And that's sort of how they got their first goal. So Oswego definitely smart to mark that player. But you got to keep an eye on those on players that do that.
Yeah, the Hawks has already 8 shots, 5 of those coming straight on goal. So that speaks volumes to the level of offensive capability that the Hawks can play with, and also how much defense capability they hold. They have let the Lakers get 0 shots, but now as the Hawks push up here, that's another goal. Goes straight through Krautheim. And it's quickly 2-0 Hawks with 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Wow, that was a pretty incredible diving shot there.
Really was.
by New Paltz. It looked like it took a deflection, but the initial opportunity was generated by I believe it was Rachel Tama. Coming in, slicing and getting that good lateral movement, and then another deflection. The New Paltz taking the advantage in terms of playing through the chaos and being able to control a ball that can be very unpredictable.
Yeah, Cam, I would say the Hawks, so far at least, they hold an advantage in communication, which that level of communication and chemistry, I'm sure, has led to their 4-4 record, an even record, tacked on 4 wins. And their losses, really, 2 of them against ranked opponents, have only come by 1 point in each of those games. So they really haven't lost a step. Only 1 point loss speaks to how well their offense can play when they're at their highest level.
Yeah, and any team likes to be tested early, right? It's especially in some non-conference play. You always want your team to go against the best of the best in real action. It allows you to have the best practice and allows you to really forces everyone to be on their game. And from a coaching perspective, it could allow you to determine what types of tactics and what types of formations and personnel are the most effective for the higher stakes games, and the results of those early season games impact how this team is going to play throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah, Cam, and that last goal scored with 3 minutes left was scored by Ashley McGow. That's her 7th goal of the season. Previously, she was tied for first in goals in the SUNY, but now she takes first place as she has 7 on the season. A very impressive feat so early into the season, tacking on 7 goals. And maybe another one, but no good. Stopped by the Lakers.
Yeah, with a player of such quality, it's always a dilemma. Do you designate one defender to guard that player specifically because of how good they are, or do you trust your defensive system and your defensive shape to be able to handle them? So the decision made by the Lakers coaching staff on that front will probably be a key determinant for the rest of this one, as we are just about to hit the end of the first period and hit the final 10 seconds of it.
Yeah, head coach Caitlin Hoover and company will try to make a switch maybe within the second half that could boost her Lakers to an upper echelon where they can at least put 1 on the board and ideally 2 before the New Paltz can tack anymore, Cam.
Yeah, it's the first period clearly dominated by New Paltz getting their goal, the first goal off of a deflection, and then the second one really generated by an incredible shot, incredible diving shot by one of the best players in the game, or in the SUNY at least. So Oswego will, they're going to have to make some adjustments, although I feel like they need to find their attacking identity first. Obviously, first they need to figure out how to win the ball, which, in field hockey, it's being very, very, very back and forth. Can be difficult at times, but for Oswego to get on the board, they are going to need to find who they really are on offense. Are they a team that's going to try to score off of breakaways? Are they a team that's going to try to play through the wings, whether it be both wings equally, or if they feel like they have a tactical advantage on one side or the other? Or are they going to be a team that tries to play through the middle? So the development of their attack phase is going to come under increased scrutiny as the star attackers for this team are going to be relied upon more and more to get some of this offensive generation going on.
Yeah, you spoke to all that perfectly, Cam, and I do also believe that the Lakers have had trouble so far finding their identity on both ends. They've had trouble really finding a rhythm on both ends. They've deflected passes here and there, but for the most part, New Paltz able to get passes and shots off in fluidity. It's sometimes Krautheim that's standing tall in that net, but when that back end is not able to stop those shots from coming in the first place, Krautheim has to stand on her toes and be fearful of the Hawks' attack at all times. So we'll see what transpires in these final 15 minutes of the first half.
Yes, the Lakers clearly have a quality keeper, but playing goalkeeper and field hockey is very tough. Because the ball is so small and the goal is so big, especially with how many players there are. Your vision can be blocked. The ball can move in unpredictable ways. So the quality of the goalkeeper cannot be understated, but you also have to consider the caveat that even the best goalkeeper can't even hope to stop every shot they face.
Yeah, without a doubt, you're only as good as your goalkeeper, I would say, unless you have really a central offensive weapon. But the Lakers, they alternate between many offensive weapons. So Krautheim, really that backbone of the entire Lakers team. She takes them far.
Yeah, it was good work over there by Meg Kubler. She had an assist in the Lakers' previous win to win that ball back and draw the foul. So with so many stoppages in field hockey, perhaps the Lakers can start to more tactically consider how they can win fouls, how they can advance the ball through stoppages, and whether it be through proper set pieces or quickly restarting the ball, the potential area for offensive generation.
Yeah, communication is certainly key, and that's what we'll have to see on this pass-in. As the Hawks, they pass it to the corner, though. Intercepted by the Lakers. Maybe goes out to Tama. Will Tama take a shot? She will. But it'll be stopped by the Lakers. Straight up denied. Very good front-end stand by them, Cam.
The injection, clearly a misfire. New Paltz a little lucky that they're going to get another one of these corner penalties here.
They are certainly lucky. So we'll see what happens as the Lakers fill the net beside Krautheim. New Paltz tries to do something now. Back out to Tama as they usually do. Will Tama get it on it? She gets it on it, but no good. Krautheim then pushes it back out. Another A1 stop by her.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was kicked by the New Paltz player right there.
Yeah, now the Lakers will get it back here. Now it's Julia Elvey, one of the experienced veterans on this roster. She'll try to get things going, but then it goes back to the Hawks. However, out of bounds, right back to the Lakers.
The team that wins transition has a very significant advantage because there's so many times in this game in areas of transition. You have to coach your team to be adaptable, and you have to coach them how to make these very fast decisions and have a very fast reaction time to situations that can be at highest pace. You could be coming down with a promising attack, and then a whistle can be blown for a kick ball, and suddenly everyone's going the other way. You don't have a lot of time to react, but your defense has to get back.
Yeah, Cam, that's the saying that goes for every sport, which is you want to win those traditional transition battles because you want to get off to a fast pace, and you want to let your opponent catch up to you, because that's where the critical errors start, and we've seen those from the Lakers, unfortunately, on their end so far. But there's always room to clean it up, as there is ample time left in this half, and it has an entirety left in the whole game. So we'll see what transpires as the New Paltz Hawks will pass it in here.
Yeah, another penalty corner. Same player, here comes Tama.
Tama now it's deflected though by the Lakers. Very good stop by them. That was number 14, Natalie Shields, goal scorer last game, as Cam alluded to, off of an assist from Meg Kubler. So she's going to look to have an impact this game along with Shields.
Yeah, we've already seen 4 penalty corners for New Paltz, which obviously, if you're Oswego, is not ideal. No, they've done a good job of defending them, and I think the answer to our previous question of will New Paltz target the same player on every penalty corner seems to be yes. They seem to be targeting Tama on just about all of them. So even if it's predictable, it can still be hard to stop, especially going against an attack of quality. Yes, the Lakers have defended these corners well, but they can't keep giving them up, or eventually one will go in.
Yeah, Cam, because we know how much of a threat Tama can be. So if those corners, as you said, keep going to her, eventually she's going to convert one through, I feel, because the Lakers have experienced lapses on defense in previous games, and they unfortunately might suffer one in these coming minutes or in the coming quarters. So, but they're going to hope to not do that, as Tam and McGo are the two primary offensive pieces for these Hawks. As they get the ball back, we go straight to the Lakers.
Yeah, it's good work there by that group of Lakers to win the ball back. It's very hard to win the ball back with just one person, considering how condensed and how little room there is. So really, like I said before, pressuring in this game, it has to be a team effort, and winning the ball back, even if your team may have, there has to be options for outlet passes in there. You have to have reinforcements who are prepared to take control of the possession if the ball gets taken or bounces in an odd manner.
Yeah, you need that additional depth, help, and assistance to to help the attack, I should say, to further that attack that you want to unload. Now it's the Lakers now to pass it up. It'll go to Julia Unger now. Unger tries to control it, but quickly stripped away by the Hawks. And now they get it back on their end to try and create something. Goes up to them.
Another good defensive
job
there.
Back to Unger now. Unger will try to push it up. Quickly stopped, though, yet again by them. And that is number 2.
Miranda Britton.
Thank you, Cam. Miranda Britton with it now, but she quickly loses it. It'll go back to the Lakers. So now we're seeing a really back and forth game here between the two squads, as none of them can seem to conjure up some sort of offensive momentum. Lakers actually certainly improving on their back end as Tama has it through. Quickly stripped, though.
Yeah, another good piece of defending there. It's Meg Kubler again. She's had a couple of those now. Good one-on-one work to win the ball.
Yeah, Elvie to pass it up there, but as you said, Kubler, really a stout defender and also a stout passer, as I alluded to earlier. She had that assist on the only goal of the game in the win against Rockport to Natalie Shields last game, so she will hope to build upon that momentum. And now it's Maya O'Keefe with it. O'Keefe kicks it up to Britton. Let's see what Britton can do in the corner.
Little too far.
Yes, although it'll be a stoppage in play, as it is a little too far, and so the Lakers will take it back now.
The end line in this game can come up fast, especially with the unpredictability of the ball. That's another reason why we see so many of these stoppages.
Definitely can. And now the New Paltz Hawks try to get it through. That was Tama yet again with a chance on net. She tried to dive there and get it through Krautheim, but it unfortunately for Tama went past the net, and Krautheim was able to deflect that.
It's a really good effort where we are seeing Tom occupying that role of center forward at very high quality, whether it be through winning the ball, having those athletic plays. Definitely the focal point of this offense as that center forward.
Tama with already 7 shots on the game, very much so leads the team. Second is Britton with 2. So 5-shot difference speaks to the emphasis of how much aggressiveness Tama plays with, and now she's always in the right spot. Not afraid to take a shot on net. They always go to her on those corner passes, and they continue to do that, Cameron.
Yeah, well, good job here. Natalie Shields again wins the ball. Here comes the counterattack. Let's see what they do.
Now the Lakers push it up, quickly intercepted though. However, back to the Lakers. That is Natalie Shields. Shields kicks it up. Quickly stuck one of those offensive weapons for the Lakers, but again intercepted.
Yeah, we saw there what the Lakers may be trying to do on offense, working down the right hand side with Gabby Curtis. But I like the idea they had there of cutting it back into the middle. Unfortunately for them, they're the stoppage end of the attack. But you know, if I feel like cross field passes can be especially powerful in this game, considering just the level we are seeing players on both teams follow the ball. When the ball's on the left, most of the players are on the left. So those who can pass the ball across the field effectively may be of particular importance in this one.
Exactly, and let's try to get those passes off efficiently and eventually convert them into goals as the Lakers get past midfield, all to be intercepted by the Hawks. Now the Hawks pushing sort of an advantage they have. Britton has it here. She will try to attempt to pass it up to Tama, who's on the left end. Maybe now, or she will take it for herself, and Britton will take it. However, it's stopped at Krautheim. Back out to Britton. Again, deflected by Krautheim. Back out to the Hawks. Krautheim corrals it. And another A1 defensive stop by Krautheim.
3 incredible saves in a row by the Lakers, and yes, the Lakers goalkeeper of tremendous quality, frequent occurrence, and it seems to be in field hockey, facing so many shots in a row, but very good composure under that high pressure situation.
Yeah, she's certainly not at a loss of energy, Krautheim. She makes those gymnastic-like saves, as I said earlier. She has no regard for physical health. She keeps spreading out, which is a good thing if you're a goalie, because she makes those gymnastic-like moves, and you want to protect your team at all times from a loss, as it's currently 2-0. Lakers try to get one on the board.
Yeah, just under 6 minutes to go in the second period. Yeah, like you said, Lakers looking for some inspiration on the attacking end, but of course it starts with winning the ball back. The first I want to go back to the first note I had is the first question I had is where will the ball primarily be located? And the answer it's very clearly primarily in the Oswego half of the field, and that's directly correlating to New Paltz's dominance. They're able to keep the ball in their attacking half, and they're able to intercept Oswego's attempts to get it out of there. They're clearly controlling the location of the game. But then again, with that, the Lakers could have some counterattacking chances if they play it correctly. So yeah, that'll be one thing to look out for as we continue.
Yeah, eventually it comes down to who can play smarter, who can play the more brick wall style defense and be able to stop the ball and turn that defense back into offense, which is what the Lakers have found struggles with so far.
And some of those moments can come during times like right now, where the ball either gets played out of bounds for Lakers passing or a foul is drawn. These times where you have one free hit can be the primary generators for the team to get the ball into the area of the field where they really want it to be, which is, of course, in their attacking half, not being forced to sit on the defensive half as much. So perhaps that'll be a halftime adjustment that's made to sort of change how this game has been dictated and being played.
Certainly, as Coach Caitlin Hoover will hope to make those halftime adjustments that will certainly help her team out. So yeah. Now it's another stoppage in play as we wind down and 4 minutes to go in this first half.
Here comes penalty corner. I believe this is number 5, maybe number 6 now. The Lakers have not conceded off of this yet. We expect the Hawks to target Rachel Tama in the middle again, but the Lakers doing a good job of defending these. But it's definitely unhealthy to be conceding these penalty corners at this high of a rate.
Yeah, it certainly is, because as I spoke to you about 5 minutes ago, one of them maybe is bound to go through from a shot by Tama, and they will pass it up to her. And another stoppage in play, however, right as she attempts to pass it out. Maybe an error in the pass. Maybe she was supposed to do something differently on that line. However, she will hope to get it to Tama again. And on Tama's side, she will hope to push it through that sea of defenders surrounding Krautheim.
Lakers only down to 3 defenders now due to penalty.
So now Tama with it. Tama kicks it out. Wide open shot. No good.
Wow, a really good opportunity there from Sophia Bronzy. She might want that one back. Playing against the short-handed Oswego defense there with only 3 defenders plus a goalkeeper to defend that one. But the Oswego defense, holding up against this onslaught of penalty corners, you have to give them credit for doing so. They clearly came into this with a clear defensive plan about how they want to attack these New Paltz penalty corners, and they're executing it well so far.
Yeah, that's certainly the case. They're without a doubt executing them well. The Lakers able to curb some of the attacks since the last goal by the Hawks. So we will see what else transpires as Britton caresses the ball. She attempts to go through there. Out to Tama now. Is Tama going to face the goal and take a shot? Goes past Krautheim, up on the crossbar, it seems. Knocked down by Krautheim, though. Another very good stop by her.
Yeah, that was a very acrobatic attempt there. I believe that was Britain there jumping up for that as we hit the 2-minute and 30-second mark. Remaining in this period, time winding down in this her first half, but a very athletic attempt there by the Hawks that just barely missed.
Certainly was athletic. Britain not afraid to get up there and try to knock the ball down with her stick, although I believe it hit the crossbar, and then Krauheim also assisted to knock that down, which will stop a potential chance from the Hawks as the Lakers get the ball back now. Now it's the Lakers with it.
They are not able to have a high level of success coming out of their free hits or drawn penalties. The Lakers are so. You may like I said a little bit ago, maybe that can be one of the halftime adjustments, figuring out how to use those free hit opportunities even better.
Yes, that'll be certainly the case. As I said before, Coach Caitlin Hoover hopes to light a fire under her team and make them maybe apply more of an aggressive offensive attack and try to evade the tenacious and aggressive defense of the Hawks.
Good work here to move it down the line. That even though New Paltz ended up with that one, Oswego may look again they clearly like that right side to at least start the attack on the wing, and now here's a breakaway chance.
Yes, that shot before the start of the breakaway was spearheaded by Britain, but quickly stopped by Addison Carrier, the freshman. So she displays a high level of defense from a first-year student, which is all what you want to see if you're the coach. So the Lakers, again, playing very good defense. That was from number 6, Julia Unger, one of the sophomores on midfield and sometimes defense. So we'll see if she can stop it again as we wind down in these final 30 seconds. And now it seems that the Hawks are going to play the slow game. They're not going to rush for these final seconds, Cam.
Yeah, I'm sure New Paltz is very content to go into this halftime up 2-0, although there is a chance here.
Now the Lakers, one of the offensive chances on this end, but though it got quickly stripped away. Very good defense by them. Very good defense by Madeline Meyer. Her first stoppage of the game, it seems.
Yeah, it was a good stop. It's a promising attack for Oswego. Unfortunately for the Lakers, we have hit halftime now. New Paltz more than happy to take this one to half with a 2-0 lead.
Yes, Cam, I would say an offensive onslaught by them of shots and passes, but the Lakers able to curb some potential chances. So as we head into halftime, Caitlin Hoover will give her team a speech, and then we'll hope to come out of the break with more urgency as they attempt to tie it up within the final 2 quarters. This is W2P10. I'm Logan Weingardner, joined by Cameron Carvalho. We will see you back in 9 minutes. Welcome back to WTO B10, ladies and gentlemen, on our broadcast of the Oswego State Lakers versus the SUNY New Paltz Hawks in field hockey. Currently, the Lakers are down 2-0 coming out of the tunnel, headed into the third quarter. I am joined in the booth by Cameron Carvalho. Cam, what do you have to say heading into the second half?
Well, New Paltz has definitely controlled this game so far. They've had two pretty good goals coming up. First one coming off a deflection, and the second one coming off a pretty acrobatic shot by their star player. But the Lakers certainly have an opportunity to improve it. I think it all starts with controlling the location of the game, controlling what half of the field the ball is primarily played in, and they're going to need to do that by winning those first battles, by getting the initial possessions, and continuing to keep the ball, smart passing, and not losing it right away.
Yeah, and as we switch sides of the field coming to the second half, we'll see if that changes anything, see if the Lakers can curb the attack of the ever so prominent Rachel Tama, who has been certainly the best player of the SUNY New Paltz Hawks, putting on a goal in the first half. One of two goals. She has certainly been an amazing piece for the team, controlling the ball so many times in that end.
Yeah, New Paltz clearly have some very talented players in their attack. Tama and being one of them, O'Keefe being another, and of course the leading goal scorer, Miguel. Another penalty corner here. Tama will be the target player.
Yes, it's Cam, as she usually is. We will see what transpires. It goes past the stick.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And now it's back to Tama. Can Tama do anything with it? It's deflected off another player. Missed, though. So Tama, she shoots it. Deflected off one of her teammates. Goes out of bounds.
Well, yeah, a little chaotic sequence for both teams there. It's interesting that New Paltz decided to target number 6 Elizabeth Austin with the initial pass off of that corner, but it almost worked for them.
Yeah, and that was deflected off of Megan Gunning, so an out of bounds off of Gunning, and as Tama, we see on this possession, Tama tries to get it back. It just goes straight out of bounds, as we've seen so many times this game. So now two teams will try to reset and regain tempo after a sort of chaotic start to the second half.
Yeah, here comes another penalty corner. Will they go back targeting Tom, or will they go back to Austin? It'll be interesting.
Yeah, so it'll certainly be interesting to see. They do not go back to Tom. They go back to Austin. Can Austin do anything with it? It's out to number 21 on New Paltz. No good. And number 21, that was Sophia Bronzy. But no good from New Paltz. She gets it just right. She gets it just right of the net. And no good.
Yeah, that one came really, really close.
Certainly did.
To going in. New Paltz having success targeting Austin instead of Tama with these penalty corners.
But now maybe Tama's a little entrapped there with her defender. And Oswego will get the best of it there. That was number 20 on the Lakers, able to curb the attack, the potential attack, that is, of Tama, because she didn't even get it. And that was number 20, Alexa Snyder, Clay, and New York from native sophomore. So she's able to put that experience on display, though, as the Hawks get it back. Quickly goes past the net, though.
Yeah, a bit of a far-ranging shot. It feels like that was a shot that was more of a lead pass in that New Paltz hoped would be deflected into the net by someone sitting inside the D. Unfortunately for the Hawks, no one was home.
Yeah, that shot from Sophia Bronzy, as we saw, just right wide of the net. And now the Lakers regain possession. They try to take it up past midfield, I believe, for the first time this half it is, Cam.
Yeah, it's good dribbling there down the line by number 8, Maddie Stukar. Advances the ball for the Lakers here. Let's see if they can make anything off of this set piece. And a good split pass, too.
But the defense in the right place at the right time was a good pass. However, New Paltz able to jump on it right away. Now Tama riding down the field with it. However, deflected by Elvie in the right place at the right time, just as New Paltz was. Now Elvie takes their spot. Now goes right back out to New Paltz. See what they can do with it. She kicks it up to Tama. Can Tama regroup and take a shot? She can, but it goes off right wide again.
It was a very good idea. Jolie Kozak there trying to get the deflection from the initial thought. It was the right idea. Kozak just didn't hit it correctly, but it was certainly good. 11 minutes to go here in the third period. Lakers still down 2-0.
Yeah, and Cam, as you're talking about that shot from Kozak, also a contributor is Elvie. She helped deny that. She helped curb the potential chance from Kozak. But now the New Paltz Hawks will get it back here. What can they do with the ball? We will see. Can the Lakers take it back? Maybe they cannot, but it goes past Tama, so they will get it back.
Yeah, we've seen early in the second half, a couple of these passes from New Paltz. New Paltz trying to use the long ball to put the ball in a dangerous situation. It's just their passes haven't been found by any of their teammates yet. So certainly New Paltz will have to be more precise with that attacking idea if they want it to be successful.
Yeah, and there it was the defense of Addison Carrier and Alexa Snyder. The two combined to help the Lakers get the ball back. As we see again, as Tama tries to drive through. However, right there at that time in the right place, that was Heather Dent, one of the most prominent defenders on this Laker team, Cam.
Yeah, the Lakers' defense, we've seen a good amount of individual contribution. It seems like each of their starting defenders has made 2 or 3 stops throughout this game. So it's always good to have a defense that it's clearly cohesive, and they're all capable of winning those one-on-one battles, as you just noted.
Yeah, and now we see again, as we've seen many times, they'll pass in and from the corner. Can they make anything of it? Gets it out to Tama in open space. Tama to take a shot over, deflected by the Lakers. Goes back to New Paltz, and now goes back to the Laker possession. Who can control in this one-on-one battle? And the Lakers come away with it.
Yeah, a lot of chaos here. Again, those penalty corners that target Austin are causing the Lakers a lot more trouble than the first half ones where they targeted Tama. But again, their defense holds, and you got to give them credit for being controlled in the times of chaos.
Definitely after they stayed composed in that chaos. But now, as we shift to the present, it's the New Paltz Hawks to take a shot. They get it back though. That was number 16 on the Hawks. Megan Gunning would try to get it through the Lakers, however, quickly denied with the help of Julia Elvie and Heather Dent. That was an A1 stop, as you've seen, an elite stop. And the Lakers putting on a strong defensive showing to start the second half.
Yeah, but they have conceded 3 penalty corners. It is now when we're just over 5 minutes into this one. Yes, to their credit, they have not conceded one, but I feel, as I said in the second period, if they keep conceding these opportunities, eventually one is going to go in. The percentage on display is just too high for that not to be the case throughout the entire game.
Yeah, whether it be Gunning, Austin, or Tama, one of them will eventually get it through, I feel.
What a sliding save though there by the keeper. I like that the keeper is showing more willingness to get off her line instead of just sitting there passively in the net, using her athleticism and using her intelligence and positioning to get some of those deflections. Now it's a new tool for the Lakers to stop these attacks.
Yeah, and yet another corner. Second half has been headlined by those. Tama kicks it out. However, can Tama do anything with it?
It looked like that almost got through. It looked like it was deflected and then almost rolled past the keeper. The good recovery work by the Lakers to clear it out, but they've conceded another one of these penalty corners.
Yeah, and that shot came from Kozak off of a pass from Tama. However, Kozak surrounded by defenders, rather more of a one-on-one. Lakers get the best of it, though, as it goes straight out to Tama. Will Tama give it back to Kozak or take the shot herself? However, goes out of bounds. Tama will try to take that shot herself. Deflected, though, off maybe one of her own teammates, seemingly.
Yeah, it looked like Britain tried to redirect that one in, and an interesting idea strategically, the person taking the penalty corner immediately getting re-involved in the play. Because the defense, you don't think to mark the person that just passed the ball and standing out of bounds, but it was a good thought by the Hawks, but the precision was not there.
Yes, that all holds true, Cam, as we see another possession as the Hawks try to take advantage. Sam Krauheim, though, putting on a very impressive showing so far. She has saved 15 of the 17 shots she's faced. So certainly the coach loves that. Coach Caitlin Hoover, she loves that from her sophomore goalie. Lucky to have her for 2 more years. Now it's Britton. Can Britton do anything with that on the corner? Will she be curbed by the Laker defense? That's Wozak. Wozak kicks it out.
Good
The
win
Lakers
here.
get the best of it now. Lakers pushing up, a stop by Whistle.
Yeah, well, Lakers though with an opportunity to advance it now. It was a good step up by Wozniacka to win that ball back.
Yeah, now it's gonna go back on the Hawks end. Again, it's Rachel Tama who's gonna try to do something with it. Sorry, the Lakers are gonna get it now, but still Rachel Tama will try to intercept it and do something with it at least. Can she do that?
Good job getting it through. Through ball there by Wozniacka, just a little too far. But you know that's the type of attacking prowess that you want if you're Oswego. You know, they found a way to get the ball advanced to almost the midfield, and then they tried to get something fast. You maybe use some of the athletic talents of the players on their wings to make it by New Paltz. So if the Lakers are going to get on the board this one, that could be an idea that they continue to expand upon. You know, using those free hits, getting the ball up quickly down the line, and then perhaps being more composed in front of goal and setting up a typical attack in the D that you would see.
Yeah, and it was Britton. They were trying to knife through the defense, find their way through the defense, but the Lakers, of course, as they have many times, standing tall and able to deny her. However, now it's the New Paltz Hawks who will take it through. Can Julia Alvey get it? She does. She tries to clear it out. However, the Hawks will take it back. That is Jozak. Can Jozak take a shot? Deflected by Lakers. Back to Britton. Britton puts it into tight space, and the Lakers able to come away with it. Jozak tries to knife it back to her side.
Yeah, a good piece of outside defending there by Camille Gallego there from Oswego on the left, and then they'll win the ball back at least for a little.
Yeah, and it's Megan Gunning of the Hawks who has a lot of possession control this half so far. Tama giving her the ball a lot, and so is Britton. The Hawks seem to operate off of those three primarily.
Yeah, well, it's a very good thing for a coach if you have these players who are currently so individually talented, and they're also comfortable being the focal points of the offense. You know, in some sports, your most talented players may not necessarily want to be the origins of where their attack comes from, but it's clear that for New Paltz that their best players are also the target men and the origins of the offense, and using the leadership skills that they have and also just their raw ability. It's really creating a lot of dangerous opportunities that the Lakers are forced to defend.
Certainly, this Hawks team is built upon camaraderie and experience. So many veterans up and down the roster when you look at it. A few freshmen, however, the veterans headline the team, those upperclassmen, able to use that experience to their advantage to teach the freshmen. As we see a pass out to Tama. Will Tama take the direct shot? She will, but quickly a weak shot stopped by the Lakers. Again, another elite stoppage in play from the Lakers, able to stop a potential shot on goal or a pass, Cam.
Yeah, that shot didn't. There was a little interesting choice. That shot didn't look like it had a lot of power. It is interesting now. New Paltz is going back directly to Tama off of these penalty corners. We'll see if they do it again here.
And it's Harley Giliberti who stopped that previous shot from Tama, and she tries to get up again in the defense to stop it. Does she deflect it off one of the Paltz sticks?
Yeah, it was a good idea there, going from Tama to Austin to get something in the middle, but probably a high stick there from New Paltz and Megan Gunning, causing that stoppage.
And it's Heather Dent who gets a miscue there, passes it up to Britton, but Britton quickly turns it over now, and Dent will get it back in her end to try to get something going for the Lakers, push it up past midfield.
Yeah, they really had some troubles trying to get the ball in the New Paltz half of the field. You know, with just under 5 minutes left in this period. There's still plenty of time left. You know, they're only being down 2 goals. There's certainly time to really figure out why exactly they're having that problem, or determine a way around it, which, as I said before, could be a counterattack. I would like to see one of those runs down the line that Maddie Stuckart made earlier as she dribbled the ball maybe 10 or 15 yards and advanced it to an attacking position. So maybe an idea like that the Lakers could use to have more offensive prowess in the final third of action.
Yeah, they certainly could. As New Paltz attempts to press it up the field with number 6, Elizabeth Austin, who received a lot of those corner passes. However, Austin, the stick of Oswego, quickly meets her, and Oswego gets the best of that one-on-one opportunity. Now out to Elvie. Elvie will attempt to push it up to Giliberti. Giliberti, though, not able to handle that pass. Now it's a one-on-one battle between Britton and Dent. Will Britton get the best of her? She will. So it goes back to the Hawks now. Hawks in their end, it's a tight space. Who's able to come away with it now? That is number 6, Elizabeth Austin, in that battle on Giliberti, and Giliberti wins it.
Yeah, good battle. That's a good kind of fight you like to see. That one-on-one, both players going for the ball. Both players stick right on it. Oswego getting the better of that exchange.
Yes, they definitely do get the better of that one. Now goes back in there, and they try to push it up here. Now, can they push it back up in midfield is the question. That was going to number 6, Unger, but it's quickly turned over.
Yeah, this attack seems to have some good, sustained, positive direction here for Oswego. They got a lot of players in their attacking half to see if they can make anything out of it. Advancing through stoppages. They've had 2 or 3 stoppages in this attack so far. Not the worst idea in the sport like this, especially with so many options for what you could do out of a stoppage. Players can either decide to play it fast right away to not disrupt the flow, or sometimes they will slow things down and set up a stronger set piece.
Yeah, and that was Carly King in that open space a bit. You heard the fans cheering. She was trying to round the corner. However, it was quickly stopped by the Hawks, and now we transition to their offensive end where they take possession. That is number 11, Ashley McGo, with it, the 7-goal scorer in the season, but she gives it up to the Lakers.
Yeah, it was a good little run there by Carly King, someone who has scored a goal for the Lakers this year, and she's had a couple of those plays of taking the authoritative and active role to take the ball away from the opponent. That burst of speed, especially in a sport like this where there's a lot of congestion, not a lot of room to move. When you have a player like that who is able to accelerate and sort of disrupt the pace for the opponent, that is something that's very valuable.
Yeah, and Cam, back to go. I would say we haven't seen too much of her this game as we've seen as much from Tama and Austin and those other pieces such as Meyer and O'Keefe.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. We're just about to hit the end of the third period here with only 35 seconds remaining. But yeah, it is clear that Tama is the point guard of this offense, the facilitator.
And now as we speak to that, she takes a shot. She knifes through that defense, able to get into open space, takes a backhand shot. However, the net, her worst enemy, the side of the net that is, goes off of it, goes out of bounds. 10 seconds left.
Yeah, that was a very good piece of individual work there by Tama, just kind of gliding through the Lakers defense and getting that shot. Very, very tough angle, of course, shooting that backhanded as we hit the end of period number 3.
Yeah, and I would say as many chances as the Hawks got, the Lakers did not let up a goal this quarter, which speaks to, I think, their at least sort of improved defense coming into the second half out of that tunnel. Coach Caitlin Hoover and the assistant coaches probably spoke to them and told them to surround Carlheim as much as they could, let her get comfortable in net cam, and not let many New Paltz chances develop.
Yeah, like the previous 2 periods, basically the entire period there was played in the Oswego defensive half. But yes, as you said, the defensive composure and the defensive teamwork has definitely improved for the Lakers. They're getting a lot better at dealing with those chaotic situations where the ball's bouncing all over the place and things become unpredictable. We're seeing the goaltender be slightly more aggressive with coming off her line to make some saves. Where Oswego is continuing to have a very good defensive strategy against the many new Paltz penalty corners that are happening. So yes, the defensive improvements are certainly there, but of course the team is still down 2-0. So with all that being said, having a great defense is great and all, but without anything to show for on the other end, it won't be a good result for Oswego. Now, we will see in these final 15 minutes, what is Oswego's attacking philosophy going to be? It was a question I had earlier coming in. You know, we saw one play earlier on where Oswego and Maddie Stuker was able to dribble down the left-hand side for about 15 yards. We saw a play towards the end of that period where they were able to build something sustained with the help of a couple whistles down the right-hand side. So really in this fourth period, the Lakers are going to be looking for a set way and trying to institute a set plan, how they're going to score, what is going to be their avenue to getting into an attacking opportunity and converting against the New Paltz keeper, who really hasn't been tested at all today.
Yeah, Cam, I agree with all that sentiment. Very elite analysis, because I believe that Oswego coming out of the half and leading up to this week has tried to scheme against Tama, and even though they've let her get her chances on net, they've been able to stop it, especially in the second half. And yes, as you said, the keeper on New Paltz has been rather relaxed in that net. She hasn't faced any shots on net.
But all that being said, all it takes is one. All it takes is one breakthrough, one well-built attack, and sometimes you only need one shot on net to get that first goal. And if Oswego gets the first goal with some time left in this period, then the game becomes completely different.
It's true. You can always build on already established momentum, and Oswego will attempt to bring up that momentum by tacking at least one on the board as Tama attempts to circle through the defense, but quickly upended by the Lakers.
Yeah, Oswego also doing a better job of drawing some whistles in their favor in their defensive half. Of course, another tool that can be used to stop the New Paltz attack. Looks like two sticks got tied up there, and we're going to have another penalty corner.
Yes, number 6, Elizabeth Austin tried to get into open space there, but as you said, quickly stopped by the Lakers, and we will see a penalty corner. So many times this game we've seen that has not developed into a goal. They've tried to get it out to Austin. They tried to get it out to Tama, those two beneficiaries, but they've not been able to convert on goal. Maybe that will change now, but the Lakers still surrounding Krautheim, standing tall in defense in a sea of green jerseys. They will attempt to maybe get it out to Tama. Tama will be the game plan. However, a whistle occurs. You'll see a stoppage. But yes, speaks to how much the game plan, I should say, is centered around Tama as they keep trying to get the ball out to her.
If you're New Paltz, I don't know if you're concerned that you've had so many of these opportunities and not a single one has been converted yet. Like, yes, you're winning and controlling this game, but...
No good, though, as Tama tries to take a shot. However, quickly stopped by Krautheim off the glove of her. And as you said, Cam, you have to be a little frustrated because there's been at least 2 or 3 very feasible opportunities for the Hawks to get a shot on net, to get a chance on net off of those penalty corners. However, not been able to convert.
Yeah, in that last one, there was a lot of chaos. But again, that note we talked about previously holds true, that Oswego has improved their defensive readiness and their defensive strategy during these times where things are chaotic. They're getting the deflections to go in their way. That can be drill down to an increase in focus and increase of positional knowledge.
Without a doubt, Cam. Now it goes right back to Tom, who will give this to Austin. Will Austin take a shot? She will! And it goes right through the legs of Krautheim. Austin scores there to make it 3-0. Extends the lead to 3.
That was Maya O'Keefe there. Yeah, that was a finally New Paltz getting a goal directly off a penalty corner. We were wondering when it was going to happen, but that was really the first time where New Paltz did that strategy of passing it in directly to Tama and then targeting O'Keefe instead of Austin with the second pass. And an absolute rocket there by O'Keefe, as you said. Passes the goal. That ball moving very fast. An absolutely incredible piece of attacking work there by Maya O'Keefe.
Was certainly a rocket, Cam. The pass from Tama off to O'Keefe just evaded all the Lakers defenders, eventually got through the legs of Krautheim, who's been a really good stopper this half and the entire game. However, the Lakers back end seemingly struggling still with stopping those chances. And as you said, those penalty corners, it's going to pay off at one point if they keep getting the chances, and it finally did.
Yeah, a play that by some accounts is responsible for around 30 or 40% of goals. Wow.
As Tama tries to dive in there and get a shot on net, however, stop at Krautheim as she dives first and denies it with her stick.
Yeah, there was a very fast developing attack there from 0 to 100. But yeah, good piece of proactive goalkeeping there from Krautheim. But as I was saying, with these penalty shots, depending on what stats you look at, is responsible for around 30 to 40% of all goals scored in field hockey. So being a specialist in that area is one of the most important things to winning these games. And yes, Oswego held up well, but, as I said, sometimes all it takes is one.
Certainly is true. All it takes is one. And maybe that's the case again. Maybe that could be the case for Oswego. As you talked about earlier, all it takes is one for them to get on the board. And now they could build off that momentum of a potential goal. However, New Paltz gets it back in their end, quickly evades the defender, tries to get it out to number 5, Bernardo, but quickly overpassed. We'll see if Austin can win the race against her defender. Stoppage in play, though.
Good hustle by Kubler. Another good piece of individual work to win the ball by Meg Kubler.
Without a doubt, was Kubler one of the prominent primary defenders in this offense. She's really such a dynamic piece to this team, as we saw an assist from her last game. Seen a lot from her this game on defense and on offense. So we're hoping to see more of that in these final 10 minutes, see if the Lakers can at least put one on the board, maybe courtesy of Shields. Maybe she repeats from last game. We will have to see what transpires, though.
Now this possession, the ball in a more advantageous spot for Oswego, and it was a good counter press. The Oswego got the ball into their attacking half, lost it, but their counter press was good. And we talked about that earlier, but they have done pretty well in terms of pressing as a team in terms of their attackers. There haven't been a whole lot of situations where that has been relevant, but as you saw there, Oswego certainly capable of pressuring New Paltz when New Paltz has it in their defensive half.
Yeah, and Cam, one of the keys, if you remember, I talked about before the game for Oswego, is they want to clean up those turnovers on their end. However, it's seemingly an area of struggle still for them, as they have incidentally the ball knocked off their stick into out of bounds, and also just turnovers in general. Not able to keep control of that ball, go straight to the Hawks, which have led to many chances on their end, unfortunately for the Lakers.
Yeah, there's been plenty of plays where the Lakers have regained possession and just immediately lost it. But you have to give credit to New Paltz. Obviously, both teams of quality to be playing at this level, so you have to give credit to New Paltz, who have developed a very effective way at immediately pressing whoever from the Lakers has the ball. They've determined a very effective way to take it off of them or force a bad pass that quickly results in the possession changing, and that is one of the factors that has allowed New Paltz to control pretty much this entire game. They know how to win the ball back very quickly during the situations they lose it, and that allows it to keep New Paltz to keep the ball in their attacking half of the field.
Yes, very holds true. As you said, New Paltz winning a lot of those one-on-ones, credit where credit is due. Taking a lot of those one-on-ones with Tama as the offensive centerpiece, but also you see Austin and then Megan Gunning winning also those one-on-ones on offense. And you see that defense taking those balls away from the Lakers as they try to attempt a shot. That is Tama, who tries to attempt the backhand. Denied by the Lakers, though.
Jeez, Tama has had some very interesting and very spectacular attempts at goal throughout this match, whether it be backhanded like that. There was the earlier play where she sort of spun and fired it backhand. There was a play where she jumped through the air to try to get one. A lot of athleticism for the Hawks' main player.
Yeah, she's certainly putting an emphasis. She's certainly making her name heard, I should say, within all of SUNYAC, really. Taking a plethora of shots this game and chances where she's gotten them. She's not been afraid to stamp her name on this Laker turf. Make her mark. Now it's the Hawks who try to push it up again. That is 9, Anna Podjadinski. See what Anna can do with it. She quickly
Good interception by Oswego, though. It's Alexis Snyder again.
And now the Hawks will take it back and attempt to reset. Can the Lakers take it? Can Stuckart take it back? Stuckart now rolling up with the ball. Stuckart surrounded by 4 defenders. Hard for her to come out of this alone with the ball. And yes, she's not able to come out of it with the ball. So the Hawks will get it back.
It's very evident the amount of individual talent that Maddie Stuckart has. She's had some remarkable individual plays and is really seems to be the primary catalyst for the Lakers offense, who, of course, haven't had too much success in this game. But with that being said, her individual talent is undeniable.
It is definitely undeniable, Cam. Very good testament to her amount of play. Now the Lakers will attempt to get some momentum on their end, all to be quickly stopped by the officials. And that will be Hawks' possession now again. With 16, Megan Gunning passing it in, who I said winning those one-on-one battles. Now it's Betts, who hasn't really got a touch since the first half, but Betts attempting to regain her control of the ball. Betts now kicks out to Austin. Austin with it, attempting knife through that defense. Stopped by the Lakers, however. Very A1 defense by Alexis Snyder to knock it away through the legs of New Paltz. Make them reset with possession as we approach 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, another chaotic sequence. Good composure by the Lakers. But what's the outcome? New Paltz ends up being in control of the ball once again with another attacking chance.
Yeah, certainly an overwhelming offensive presence they have put on. They've been able to correct their errors and come out with possession after a whistle. Just tough for the Lakers to fight against.
Yeah, good stop there though by Snyder. But then again, the Lakers had the ball for maybe 2 seconds there. The ball immediately intercepted. It's just really good play from New Paltz there, and anticipating those passing lanes and not hesitating in terms of stepping up into those passing lanes, cutting off those angles, and ultimately ending up with the ball.
Yes, that's an overpass, an over calculation from Elvia. She tries to get it to Giliberti, goes straight through legs, out of bounds. So now the Hawks will pass it back out. Hawks take possession in their own end. Goes back out to them. And that is number 24 on the Hawks, Gabriella Barth, one of her first touches of the game. See what the Hawks can do with it now.
Yeah, Barth standing at 5'11", very, very, very talented in defense and being so tall, but like we said, hasn't been tested a lot this game.
Certainly she hasn't. Austin, though, another offensive piece for the Hawks. She tried to get it there, however, taken by the Lakers. And now can they efficiently get it up to Giliberti? A difference from before. Now let's see what Elvie can do with it. Elvie quickly loses control of the ball. And the Hawks will take advantage in an end where they have succeeded so much this game. Austin kicks it out. However, quickly stoppage in play. Austin had attempted to kick it out to Gunning, but a quick stoppage in play. And the Lakers will throw their helmets off. However,
another penalty corner. You know, some sequences in field hockey are just simply unlucky. You know, you can't hit your foot, and there's so many whistles. You can only do so much as a player. You can try as hard as you can. At some point, the ball is going to hit your foot. At some point, there's going to be those little small infractions, and that's just a part of the game.
Certainly true. As Tama gets it off the corner, she attempts to take a backhand, however, deflected by the Lakers. Now Austin regains possession. Austin loses that one-on-one battle, but recoups with the ball, regains possession. The Lakers quickly take it away. Gunning, can Gunning do anything with it? Tries to get it to Betts. Betts, however, never receives the pass, deflected by the Lakers. And the Lakers will regain possession.
Yeah, good work by the Oswego defense. Clearly showing improvements from earlier. It seems like they've been better at diagnosing the New Paltz attack and better at having more positional integrity and strategic positioning on the defensive end.
Yes, certainly good attack on a team that tacks on 2 goals per game. They have 3 this game. However, the Lakers able to stand tall for pretty much all of this fourth quarter with standout defense from Dent, Giliberti, and Elvey proving worthy to the Lakers. So they are certainly lucky to have them for the rest of the season and for the rest of their careers. They are here in the shorelines of Lake Ontario.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers haven't allowed a non-penalty goal since like midway through the first period. So there certainly have been some positive developments. You know, just the attacking element hasn't been there, but there's a chance here.
And as Ellie Kazel tries to knife through the defense with it, no good though. Unger tried to trail her, but the ball never got back to the Lakers.
Just 2.5 minutes left here. The game is likely unwinnable now, but of course, Oswego is still trying to get something on the board and have at least something to show for their efforts here.
Yeah, Cam, if anything, you want to put 1 goal in this game, make it 3-1, heading into their next game versus Keuka on September 30th in Keuka. So you want to carry that momentum right into Keuka.
Yeah, and there's certainly a lot of lessons that can be taken from this game. There's clearly some things that the Lakers have done well, and some things that they could be better on. And going up against such a quality opponent is one of the best times to learn what your team really is, and that's the proxy to improving later on.
Yes, without a doubt, because you learn a lot of lessons in wins and losses. However, a lot of coaches preach this more so in losses. You really learn about what your weaknesses are, and you have every attempt to correct that throughout the season. So the Lakers certainly don't want to hold their heads too low. They want to keep them high heading into the next matchup.
Yeah, they've shown defensive integrity. They've shown calm through chaos throughout most of this one. They've showed that they can press when their opponents have the ball in the other half of the field. They've shown they've shown that their defense is very expansive in the sense that they have all made 2 or 3 individual plays, individual stops on the ball. So there are certainly plenty of positive takeaways, even though it's going to be a loss as we get into the final minute of this one. There are certainly plenty of positive takeaways that the Lakers are going to come home with, and certainly things that they can get better onto.
Yeah, a lot of things to hold your head high about if you're Caitlin Hoover, and company. So as it goes out of bounds now, final 20 seconds as I speak. So can the Lakers get anything going, at least to carry into their next matchup? As I keep talking about, 15 seconds left now. Seemingly, doesn't seem like they can get much going. Nothing rules out of the equation, however. They will pass it in, but they will quickly dwindle the tempo as they realize time is winding down, and they will be blanked by the New Paltz Hawks as the final buzzer sounds. New Paltz Hawks come into Laker turf and win 3-0. Cam, what are your 2 biggest takeaways from that game?
The biggest takeaway is that New Paltz won this game because they were able to control the location of the ball. The ball was in the Lakers' defensive half of the field throughout pretty much the entire game. New Paltz clearly has some talented players in their attack, whether it be Rachel Tama or Ashley McGo or Miranda Britton, and those players are leaders. They put their attack through them, and they finally converted on one of their penalty corners at the end. So overall, very, very well played game by New Paltz. And Oswego, obviously lost this one, but can have some positive takeaways to get into the next one as well.
Yeah, certainly. I always preach controlling the tempo from the outset in my writing and commentary. So that's what the Lakers hope they can do in their next matchup against Cuca. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast of Oswego versus New Paltz Hawks. On behalf of all of us at WTOP, we will see you next time.